Canada is famous for its field aircraft, capable of landing and taking off in wild terrain, such as the Hawker Hurricane fighter and the Avro Lancaster bomber. Following the successes of the war, in the early years of the Cold War, aspiring Canadian politicians and engineers dedicated to build the world's leading aircraft industry with an aircraft of their own. The Avro CF-105 Aero was born as an indigenous Canadian aviation effort to counter the threat posed by newer, high-flying, high-speed Soviet bombers. On October 4, 1957, 14,000 people gathered at a large hangar on the outskirts of Toronto to admire the appearance of a large, beautiful delta-winged white plane. It was the Avro Aero Interceptor, with its maiden flight on 25 March 1958. The CF-105 held the promise of Mach 2 speeds at altitudes exceeding 50,000 feet and was intended to serve as the Royal Canadian Air Force primary interceptor into the 1960s and beyond. The Aero has a length of 77 feet 9 inches, a wingspan of 50 feet, a height of 21 feet 2 inches, an empty weight of 49,040 pounds, and maximum takeoff weight is 68,605 pounds. It was powered by two Pratt & Whitney J75P3 afterburning turbojet engines with 16,500 pounds dry thrust each and 23,500 pounds with afterburner. The CF-105 was promised a top speed of Mach 1.98, a cruise speed of 527 knots, a range of 360 nautical miles, and a service ceiling of 53,000 feet. The C-105 has a high-mounted delta wing and a single, large aerial vertical tail fin. The fuselage is a tubular frame with an extended nose cone and a slab-sided center portion. The two-seat cockpit is arranged in tandem for a pilot and a radar operator. Two rectangular engine intakes are located on either side of the exterior cockpit wall. The landing gear system was arranged normally, with one landing gear under the cockpit and the other two under the main wings. Armament could have revolved around up to 4 of air-to-unit unguided nuclear-tipped rockets, or as many as 8 AIM-4 Falcon, or 3 of AIM-7 Sparrow 2 guided missiles. Tracking and engagement could have been managed through the huge Mach 1179 fire control system. Overall, it can be seen that CF-105 is a sophisticated design and feat of Canadian aeronautical engineering, integrating many modern methods and the latest technologies. The delta wing had many of the same advantages of the square wing in terms of transonic and supersonic performance, but offered much more internal room and overall surface area. This provided more room for fuel, an important consideration given the inefficient early jet engines of the era, and the large wing area provided ample lift at high altitudes. The delta wing also enables slower landings than swept wings in certain conditions. The disadvantages of the design was increased drag at lower speeds and altitudes, and especially higher drag while maneuvering. For the Interceptor role, these were minor concerns, as the aircraft would be spending most of its time flying in straight lines at high altitudes and speeds, mitigating these disadvantages. The aero was so advanced that Canada didn't have all the facilities for testing it. Instead, the engineers had to use facilities in the USA, such as the National Advisory Committee of Aeronautics, Supersonic Research Center of Langley Park, Virginia, later became NASA. The aero achieved another first. It was the first time that engineers built prototypes of such a sophisticated aircraft, using production tooling rather than handmade by engineers. For many reasons, including the aero program's prodigious price tag and the proliferation of Soviet intercontinental ballistic missiles, no jet could stop. The program was cancelled on February 20, 1959 by newly elected Canadian Prime Minister John Diefenbaker. Canada tried to sell the aero to US and Britain, but no agreements were concluded. 2 months later, the assembly line, tooling, plans, existing airframes, and engines were ordered to be destroyed. The cancellation was the topic of considerable political controversy at the time, and the subsequent destruction of the aircraft in production remains a topic for debate among historians and industry pundits. Until the cancellation, only 5 prototypes had been built. My video about the Avro Canada CF-105 aero answer. Thank you for watching. If you find this video interesting, please give me your thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to support the channel. Goodbye and see you again in the next videos.